Hey guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with another process video for my Creative Scrapbook Kit Club, and I am using their July main kit that is full of the Sunshine and Happiness collection by Simple Stories. I just really feel like Simple Stories has knocked it out of the park lately with their collections. This is just such a fun collection for summer. Lots of aquas and oranges, pinks, teals, yellows, the the what am I trying to say? Like that girl, the images, the flowers, the popsicles, everything that they have is so cute with the collection, and I just can't even say enough good things about it. I just have enjoyed working with this so much. So what I'm doing now is I have this picture of me and the kids on vacation, and there's not really like a huge story that goes along with this. It was just, me trying to catch up on some of the photos that just haven't found their way in an album yet. And I thought between the colors in the photo and the colors of the collection that it would be perfect. My first thought would be to use a black and white photo, but I really felt like if I kept the background pretty plain and with white cardstock, that it would still be a really happy, fun, very summery layout. So I am just mounting my photo on some tissue paper, and for whatever reason, the day that I'm making this, I am just being crazy about trying to keep tissue paper, the lines straight. Oh my gracious, if that is just not a little over the top, I'm not sure what is, but apparently that was my mood that day. And I'm just going to go ahead and adhere them down. I wanted something that just, like I said, with all the colors, I wanted to break up the photo versus the matte a little bit. And I felt like the white cardstock and then the white tissue paper definitely helped with that. And then I like the layer, or not the layer, the texture that the tissue paper gives, or even if I use vellum, I just like the different textures that are on my pages. So when I went through, you see that there's like a whole bunch of little embellishments lined up on the side of my desk. And what I've been trying to do lately is go through when I'm going to begin making a page and just start pulling out some of the things that I think I might use. And, like I said, with this, I was still kind of contemplating the title and, what I wanted to even say, if I wanted to say anything really about this photo. Like I said, it's, sometimes for me, there's definitely layouts that I want to do that have stories to be told, and photos that document certain moments. But this one really doesn't with any of them, but I still like to get these photos scrapped because I like to go through and look at my albums and just see where we were at certain points in our lives. I am not one that has a a bunch of just photos lying around. If I'm going to look at photos, it's going to be in my scrapbook album. So I don't mind that there's layouts that necessarily don't have, big stories that go with them. So let me get back to what I'm doing with this layout. I wanted to keep the white space on this layout pretty white. And you see I'm messing around with that black sticker. It was perfect for this page, but then it wasn't. I will mess around with it quite a bit until finally I decide that because it's black, it's just throwing what I initially wanted off. And so I struggle with that for a little bit. So this stripe paper is one of my favorites in the collection, along with that small floral. I just think that they're so happy, and just, like I said, I love them. And I decided that I'm going to put a thin strip at the bottom, and eventually you'll see that I get around to putting it at the top as well. At first I was thinking I didn't want things to match, because I do like things when they more complement one another versus match completely. You know, that's one of the reasons why I like mixing collections together. But I just found that with this, it just didn't look as nice. I wasn't as happy with the look of it. And once I figured out that I really did need to have the stripes on both the, you know, the top and the bottom, it just all of a sudden made the layout look so much different to me, and I loved how it was starting to go. So I did choose the thinner strip to be at the top versus the thicker strip. I like to have the weight towards the bottom of the page. So that's always my reasoning when I do something like that. And at this point, it's just me trying to figure out where I'm going to go with my embellishments. This was in front of an ice cream place, and so the ice cream really went well, and I felt like the mason jar with the drink did. And at this point I figured out that I really wanted the happy memory to be the title, because I thought, well, you know, that's perfect. I love the different textures between the Heidi swapped the wood veneer word on the tag, and it is a happy memory, and that's all that really needs to be said. I am infamous for me to struggle over titles. So I feel like if I can make a title work with things that I have, like my embellishments, that just makes it even better for me. So I pulled these doilies out from my stash. They are from Doodlebug, I believe, and they're bright pink and yellow. And, you know, somebody had asked me before, you know, if I colored my doilies, and you most certainly can. If you have a doily die in particular, I would think would be easier. But if you have the thin doilies from Wilton, I have tried it with mist, and you can do it. But for me, I like, when I'm using a colored doily, I want the color to be very concentrated, which is why I don't mist mine. But you could solve the doily by getting a die. I just don't have one big enough for this size. I think the largest die that I have is a 3-inch, and I would love a 6-inch. But yeah, you know, there's so many other things that I need before that. So I decided that I wanted to add some more texture to this layout. So I am just taking my Heidi Swap distress tool and distressing the edges of the paper layers. I had torn some of them as well, just to give more visual interest to the page. Now, if you don't have this tool, you certainly don't need to go out and buy one. I have had this thing for years and years and years. You can just use the edge of scissors and do it that way. There's also some kind of file tool that you can get to distress the edges. I think that was made more for chipboard, but you know, things like that will work. So don't feel like you have to necessarily buy a tool every time something comes out like that. It does make it neat, but you know, I think this was like either given to me or in like a kit or something like that. So it wasn't something that I went out of my way to go out and buy. So I decided that I wanted to put the doilies kind of going down the page and make the pink ones be the, you know, the top and the bottom, just to help contain the layout. And that bright yellow one I thought just looked great behind the mason jar. So the final things that I'm going to be doing with this is I'm adding a couple of things behind the mason jar. I do take, oh wait, before I do that, I do decide to emboss the Heidi Swap wood word with some yellow embossing powder, and I would have liked to have done it a little bit brighter, but the brighter yellow that I had was more mustard, so I didn't let the fact that the yellows didn't exactly match stop me. I feel like if you're going to have something where, you know, your colors don't exactly work, that if it's a shade lighter or a shade darker, it works well still. And I felt like this was just a few shades lighter, and it was kind of in that same yellow family. So I felt like it worked well. I am going to put the date of the layout on the label sticker that you see on the bottom right hand cluster. I am notoriously bad for writing down the dates on pictures, and I'm trying to be better, but you know, that is just not in my thinking. You know, I upload my photos to Costco, and for whatever reason, Costco will not print them on the back, and I have tried to figure it out, and I just don't see where they will do that. And that would make it so much easier. So I have a pile of layouts that I need to look up the dates, and I usually wait until I get about 10, and then I will look up the dates and stamp them. So that's pretty much it. I'm taking this pink paisley button and running a little twine in it, and I am using a glue dot so that the bow won't slip. Actually, I don't make a bow, I just run it through to make it look like it's stitched down. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much. Look below in the detail section if you'd like to check out the Kit Club. It's my creative scrapbooks, and I have some stills at the end. I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.